Imagine this for a second. You're holding something in your hands with all your strength, something you think you can't let go of. Maybe it's a relationship, a friendship, a dream that no longer fills you, or even a version of yourself that you're no longer. Your hands tremble, your heart beats fast, and deep down, very deep down, a voice whispers, "What if you let it go?" But fear stops you. What if you let go and everything falls apart? Now let me tell you something that will change the way you see that moment. Carl Jung, one of the most brilliant thinkers in history, discovered that when fate asks you to let go of someone or something, it's not a punishment, it's a sign. A powerful sign that something bigger, more authentic, is waiting for you. And today in this video, you're going to discover exactly how to recognize those signs and why letting go isn't losing, but gaining your true life. Listen to this carefully because this isn't just another video. This goes straight to your soul. Have you ever felt that something in your life doesn't fit? Maybe you're in a relationship that drains you, or with someone who makes you doubt who you are. Or perhaps you're clinging to a situation that, deep down, you know isn't taking you anywhere. Carl Jung, the genius who explored the depths of the human unconscious, would say you're not crazy for feeling that. It's not your imagination. It's your unconscious screaming at you, sending you messages through emotions, intuitions, and even dreams you can't ignore. And if you're still here with me, I promise that by the end of this video, you won't just understand those signs. You'll have the courage to act on them. Because when you let go of what doesn't belong to you, the universe, as Jung would say, conspires to align you with your destiny. Think about it for a moment. How many times have you ignored that feeling in your chest? That discomfort that shows up when you're with a certain person? Or that little voice that says, "This isn't right," but you silence it because you think you should stay? Jung taught us that the unconscious doesn't lie. It's not like your conscious mind that gets tangled in excuses and justifications. The unconscious speaks in a pure language. Symbols, hunches, that tension you feel in your body when something isn't aligned with your truth. And when it comes to relationships, those connections that shape your life, those signs are even clearer. Have you ever wondered why certain people exhaust you? Why, after being with them, you feel empty, like they've stolen something from you? It's not a coincidence. It's your unconscious telling you this person doesn't belong on your path. Let's pause here. Take a deep breath. Yes, you, right now. Close your eyes for a second and think of someone in your life. Someone you feel you're constantly fighting to make things work with. Got them in mind? Good. Now ask yourself, how do I feel when I'm with this person? Do I feel light, inspired, full of energy? Or do I feel heavy, confused? Like I have to wear a mask to keep the peace? Carl Jung would say that feeling isn't an accident. It's your shadow talking. That part of you that you hide, that you repress, but that knows exactly what you need to be happy. And if that relationship weighs you down more than it lifts you up, then listen to me. Fate is already sending you signs to let go. But wait, don't worry if this sounds intimidating. I'm not here to tell you to throw everything away without thinking. It's about understanding what's happening inside you. Jung believed that our relationships aren't just random encounters, they're mirrors. Yes, mirrors of your inner world. That person who drives you crazy, who makes you feel small, or who always seems to disagree with you, isn't there by bad luck. They're there because they reflect something you haven't faced in yourself yet. Maybe it's an insecurity you don't want to admit, or a fear of abandonment that makes you hold on even when you should let go. The question is, are you ready to look into that mirror? Because when you do, everything will change. Let me tell you something personal so you see what I mean. A while ago, I was trapped in a relationship I couldn't let go of. On the surface, everything seemed perfect. We were the couple everyone envied. Laughter, plans, happy photos on social media. But inside, something was wrong. Every conversation was a struggle. Every day, I felt like I was losing a piece of myself. And one night, as I tried to fall asleep, I had a strange dream. I dreamed I was carrying a huge rock uphill, and someone said to me, "Let it go. It's not yours." I woke up sweating, my heart racing. And then I understood Jung was right. That dream wasn't just a dream. It was my unconscious telling me that relationship wasn't for me. Has something like that ever happened to you? A dream, an intuition, a moment of clarity that hits you like a bolt of lightning? Jung called this projection. He said that what we see in others, what bothers us or attracts us, is a reflection of our own unconscious. So that person who drains you, who makes you feel less, isn't the villain in your story. They're a messenger. And the message is simple. Look inside yourself. But here's the trick. You can't stay trapped in that reflection forever. You have to act. Because if you keep ignoring those signs, if you keep holding on to what doesn't serve you, your unconscious won't stay quiet. It'll scream louder. And trust me, you don't want to get to that point. Now imagine this with me. You're walking through a forest. There are two paths in front of you. One is full of light, with flowers and a clear trail. The other is dark, covered in shadows with branches that seem to want to grab you. Which do you choose? Most of us, by instinct, go for the easy path, the one that feels safe. But Jung would say that true growth, true peace, lies in the dark path. Because that's where you face your shadow. That's where you discover who you really are. And when it comes to letting go of someone, that dark path is the moment you decide to let go, even when everything in you screams to stay. Why is it so hard to let go? Because we're programmed to hold on. Fear of change, of emptiness, of the unknown paralyzes us. But here's the secret Jung wanted you to understand. That emptiness isn't the end, it's the beginning. It's like clearing out a closet full of old clothes you don't wear anymore. At first, it's scary to see so much empty space, but then you start filling it with new things, things that really represent you. Before we move on, let me tell you that my book is now available. It's full of tips and techniques to help you overcome emotional blocks and love yourself more. Find the link in the description and the pinned comment. Let's continue. Letting go of someone who isn't aligned with your essence is exactly that. Making space for what does belong to you. So what are those signs that fate sends you? Let's dive into that. First, there's exhaustion. If every interaction with that person leaves you feeling like you've run an emotional marathon, pay attention. Jung would say your energy is sacred. It's the fuel of your soul. And if someone is constantly draining it, your unconscious is telling you, this isn't for you. Second, constant obstacles. You feel like everything with that person is a struggle. Misunderstandings, arguments, plans that never work out. It's not bad luck. It's the universe putting up barriers to make you stop and reflect. And third, losing yourself. If you look at yourself and don't recognize the person you are when you're with them, that's the biggest sign of all. Let's do another quick exercise. Think of that person again. Now imagine letting them go. Imagine saying enough and walking forward without looking back. What do you feel? Fear? Relief? A bit of both? That feeling, whatever it is your compass. Jung would say your emotions don't lie. They're the voice of your unconscious guiding you to your truth. And if you feel even a flicker of relief imagining yourself free, then you already know what you need to do. But I won't leave you here with just questions. This is only the beginning. In the next part, we'll explore how Jung's shadow connects to your relationships and why letting go of someone can be the greatest act of self-love you'll ever do for yourself. So stay with me, because this gets even deeper. And if this is already resonating with you, do me a favor. Pause the video for a second, hit like, and write in the comments what sign from fate you recognize in your life right now. Your words don't just inspire me, they help others who are reading. Let's create a community of brave people who choose their authenticity. If you're here, it's because something in the first part touched your soul, and that's not a coincidence. Carl Jung would say you're starting to listen to your unconscious, that part of you that knows exactly what you need, even when your conscious mind is full of doubts. In this second part, we're going to dive even deeper. We're going to talk about the shadow, that powerful concept from Jung that explains why certain people drive you crazy, why you hold on to relationships that hurt you, and how letting them go not only frees you, but transforms you into the person you're destined to be. So get comfortable, take a deep breath, and prepare for a journey that will change the way you see your relationships, and above all, yourself. First, let's make something clear. Letting go of someone isn't a failure. It's not giving up. It's an act of self-love so powerful that the whole universe celebrates it. But to understand why, we need to talk about the shadow. What is the shadow? According to Jung, it's everything you hide from yourself. Your fears, your insecurities, the parts of you that you don't like or think aren't acceptable. We all have it. And here's the twist. That shadow doesn't stay silent. It shows up in your life, especially in your relationships. Have you ever felt like someone irritates you in a way you can't explain? Or that you keep repeating the same toxic patterns over and over? That's your shadow begging you to look at it. Think about this. You're in a relationship where you feel like you have to change who you are to fit in. Maybe you lower your voice when you want to speak up, or you hide your dreams because you know they won't support them. On the surface, it seems like you're keeping the peace, but deep down, something breaks. Jung would say that relationship is clashing with your shadow. That person isn't just draining you. They're showing you a part of yourself you've been ignoring. Maybe it's your need to be seen, to be valued for who you really are. And as long as you keep holding on, as long as you keep sacrificing your authenticity, your shadow will keep screaming. Let's pause here. Yes, right now. I want you to think of someone in your life who makes you feel this way. Someone who, no matter how hard you try, always seems to leave you with a sense of emptiness. Got them? Good. Now ask yourself, what part of me am I sacrificing for this person? What am I hiding from myself to make this work? If you feel a knot in your stomach or a warmth rising in your chest, don't ignore it. That's your unconscious telling you the truth. And the truth, as Jung knew, is that you can't live fully if you're betraying your essence. But here's the beautiful part. When you face your shadow, when you dare to look it in the eyes, something magical happens. You stop blaming others for how you feel. You stop seeing that person as the enemy and start seeing them as a mirror. And then letting them go doesn't feel like a loss. It feels like liberation, because you're not letting them go out of hate or resentment. You're letting them go because you choose to love yourself. Isn't that powerful? Imagine for a second what your life would be like if every decision you made came from a place of self-love. If every relationship in your life lifted you up instead of weighing you down. Now let's talk about those signs from fate again, but from the shadow's perspective. Remember that exhaustion we talked about? That's not just physical tiredness. It's your shadow saying, I'm tired of pretending to be someone I'm not. Those constant obstacles, those endless fights, that's your shadow crashing against a connection that doesn't give you room to grow. And that feeling of losing yourself, that moment when you realize you don't know who you are with them anymore, that's your shadow begging you to integrate it, to embrace it, to let it out. Let me give you an example. Imagine you're with someone who always criticizes your dreams. You want to write a book, travel the world, start a business, but every time you bring it up, they say, that's not realistic, or why even try? At first, you let it slide. You think they're just being practical. But over time, you start doubting yourself. Those dreams that used to fill you with fire now seem silly, distant. What happened there? Jung would say your shadow's at play. That person isn't just putting out your dreams. They're reflecting a part of you that's afraid to shine. And as long as you stay with them, as long as you ignore that sign, your dreams will keep fading. So what do? Do you stay and keep fading? Or do you dare to let go and reclaim your light? This isn't just about romantic relationships, you know. It could be a friend who always makes you feel small, a family member who constantly judges you, or even a job that steals your soul. Jung taught us that everything in our life is a projection of our inner world. So when you feel like something or someone is dimming your light, it's not just about them. It's about you. It's an invitation to look at your shadow and ask, why am I allowing this? What part of me needs to heal? Let's do another exercise. Close your eyes for a second. Imagine you're standing in front of that person who weighs you down. Now imagine you say to them, thank you for what you taught me, but I don't need you in my life anymore. Not with anger, not with sadness, but with calm, with self-love. How does that feel? Do you feel fear, freedom, a bit of both? Stay with that feeling for a moment, because that's the power of letting go. It's not about erasing someone from your life like they never existed. It's about choosing yourself first. And here's the part we sometimes forget. Letting go isn't always a big drama. There's not always an epic fight or a tearful goodbye. Sometimes letting go is quiet. It's a calm moment when you decide your peace is worth more than keep fighting for something that doesn't work. Jung would say that silence is sacred. It's the moment when your unconscious and conscious align and fate starts moving in your favor. Have you ever felt that? That instant when you let go of something and suddenly you breathe deeper, like you'd been holding your breath for years? But wait, because it gets even better. When you let go, you don't just free up space in your life. You activate what Jung called synchronicity, those coincidences that aren't coincidences. Suddenly, you meet someone new who inspires you. An opportunity pops up out of nowhere. Your energy shifts and the world responds. Why? Because by letting go of what doesn't serve you, you tell the universe, I'm ready for what truly belongs to me. And the universe, like a loyal friend, listens. Think of your life as a river. When you hold on to someone who isn't aligned with you, it's like putting a dam in that river. The water stagnates, turns murky. But when you let go, the dam breaks and the water flows free again. That's your energy. That's your essence. And when it flows, it attracts everything meant for you. Relationships that lift you up, dreams that come true, a peace you can't explain with words. So what's stopping you? Is it the fear of being alone? The guilt of abandoning someone? Or maybe the idea that no one else will love you? Let me tell you something Jung would understand perfectly. Those fears aren't yours. They're echoes of your shadow, wounds you haven't healed yet. And the only way to heal them is by facing them. It doesn't make you weak. It makes you brave. Because choosing your peace, your authenticity, your happiness is the most powerful act you can do. In the next part, we'll close this journey with something even more transformative. We'll talk about how to live from your authenticity, how to recognize the relationships that do lift you up, and why fate always rewards those who dare to let go. So don't go anywhere. If this is hitting you right where you need it, write in the comments what fear is holding you back from letting go of someone today. Share your story. It doesn't just help me, it inspires someone else reading who needs that push. Hit like, subscribe if you haven't yet, and turn on the bell. See you in the final part. You've made it to the final part, and that means something. You're ready to take a step toward your truth. In this last section, we'll tie together everything we've explored with Carl Jung and take it to a level that will transform your life forever. We'll talk about how to live from your authenticity, how to recognize the relationships that truly lift you up, and why, when you let go of what doesn't serve you, fate doesn't just reward you, it guides you to a life you can't even imagine. So take a deep breath, because this isn't just a closing, it's a beginning for you, right now. Let's start with something Jung made very clear. Life isn't about being perfect. It's not about fitting into what others expect of you. It's about being authentic. But what does that really mean? It means listening to that voice inside you, the one that knows who you are beyond the mask you wear to please the world. It means letting go of the relationships that force you to hide and embracing the ones that inspire you to shine. And yes, it also means facing the chaos, the fear, and the doubts. Because as Jung said, there's no awakening of consciousness without pain. But that pain isn't your enemy, it's your teacher. Think about your life for a second. How many times have you felt like you're living half a life? Maybe you're in a relationship where they accept you, but only if you follow certain rules. Or maybe you have friends who are there for you, but only as long as you don't step out of the script they wrote for you. Jung would say that's not living, that's surviving. And you're not here to survive, you're here to bloom. But to bloom, you have to let go of the dry branches. You have to let go of those people who, no matter how much you love them, don't let you be you. Let's pause here. I want you to think of someone specific. Yes, right now. Someone who makes you feel like you have to change, who makes you doubt your worth. Got them in mind? Good. Now imagine you stand in front of them and say, I'm not going to keep betraying myself for you. Not with anger, not with drama, but with a calm that comes from your soul. How do you feel imagining that? Do you feel a weight lift off your shoulders? Do you feel fear, but also a flicker of freedom? That feeling is your authenticity waking up. It's your unconscious saying, yes, This is the way. Because here's the truth Jung wanted you to understand. The relationships that are aligned with your essence don't ask you to shrink. They don't demand you fit into a mold that isn't yours. On the contrary, they give you wings. They make you feel more you, not less. Remember that exhaustion we talked about? In an authentic relationship, you don't feel it. Instead, you feel energy, inspiration. Like just being with that person fills you with life. And when you let go of someone who doesn't give you that, you make space for those who will. But I won't lie to you. Letting go hurts. Even when you know it's the right thing, there's an emptiness left behind. Maybe it's the fear of loneliness or the guilt of leaving someone behind. But Jung taught us that emptiness isn't something to fear. It's a sacred space. It's like a blank canvas waiting for you to paint something new, something that reflects who you really are. And when you dare to let that space exist, fate starts moving, synchronicity kicks in. You meet people who resonate with you in ways you never imagined. Opportunities that seemed impossible start showing up. Why? Because by letting go, you tell the universe, I trust my path. Let me tell you something I've seen time and time again. When I let go of something that doesn't serve me, whether it's a relationship, a habit, or even an old belief, something incredible always happens. Once I let go of a friendship that drained me. For years, I thought I had to stay because we'd been friends forever. But one day, after yet another conversation that left me feeling empty, I said, enough. And weeks later, I met someone new. Someone who, without me asking, inspired me to pick up a project I'd abandoned. That wasn't luck. It was synchronicity. It was the universe responding to my decision to choose my authenticity. Has something like that ever happened to you? Have you let go of something and then seen the pieces fall into place in a way you didn't expect? So how do you know when to let go? We've talked about the signs: exhaustion, obstacles, losing yourself. But there's something more. There's a moment of clarity, a whisper from the unconscious that Jung described as pure intuition. It's that instant when you know, without a doubt, that holding on is costing you more than it's giving you. And when you reach that point, letting go isn't just an option. It's a necessity, because your peace, your energy, your happiness are worth more than anything that steals them from you. Let's do one last exercise. Close your eyes again. Imagine your life without that person who weighs you down. Imagine waking up every day feeling light, free, connected to yourself. Imagine the people around you seeing you for who you really are and loving you for it. How does that feel? Stay there for a moment, because that's not just a fantasy. It's a possibility. It's what's waiting for you on the other side of letting go. And here's the grand finale, the secret Jung wanted you to discover. Your life is a reflection of your inner world. When you live from your authenticity, when you let go of what doesn't serve you and embrace what does, the world changes with you. Toxic relationships fade away, and authentic ones bloom. The dreams you'd buried come back stronger than ever. And the peace, that peace you've been searching for, isn't somewhere else. It's inside you, waiting for you to claim it. So now the ball's in your court. This is your moment. What are you going to let go of? What relationship? What fear? What belief are you ready to release? Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Because every time you choose your authenticity, every time you listen to fate's signs, you get closer to the life you deserve. A life that's full, meaningful, yours. Before I say goodbye, I want you to do something for me and for this community. If this video moved you, if it gave you clarity or inspired you to take a step, write in the comments what you're going to let go of today. Maybe it's a relationship that weighs you down or a fear that's held you back too long. Share your story. Your words don't just motivate me to keep creating. They could be the spark someone else reading needs to find their courage. Hit like, subscribe if you haven't yet, and turn on the bell so you don't miss what's coming. And if you think someone in your life needs to hear this, share it with them. Together we can build a movement of people who choose their truth. Thanks for being here, for listening, for being part of this family. Life is full of signs, and you have the power to decide what to do with them. Carl Jung showed us that real change starts within us, and today you can start that change. See you in the next video. Remember, fate is speaking to you. Are you ready to listen? I'll be waiting for you.